So this video will discuss how to host networking events or Zoom meetings that have breakout rooms, whether you're doing them for you're going to have maybe a teleseminar and people go into rooms to talk to people about a particular subject, or you're doing a speed networking event where you want people to be able to talk one-on-one. This is how you would actually set up breakout rooms and do that kind of collaboration. Now, this is just me on this call, so I'm not going to be able to show you all of the specific details. However, it will give you a general idea and general understanding so that you can potentially host one for yourself. If you have any questions or run into any difficulties, please reach out to me. I am happy to help with anything else that you have. So the first part of this process is making sure that your Zoom account is set up properly. As I understand it, you can have a free Zoom account and still use breakout rooms. I am on a paid account, so I can't talk specifically to that, but I'm almost positive that you can have a free account and use breakout rooms. So I have already logged into my Zoom account, but you do that from their website. And so you're just going to click on sign in. For me, I'm going to click on my account. And you're going to go over to the left-hand side and you're going to click on the settings. Now with their settings, you can scroll all the way down. However, since I've gone through this already, I know that it's right in the advanced section. So what you want to do is, this is the breakout room area. You want to make sure that this is turned on. You also, I would suggest these three things, but you can choose how you want to use these for your particular cases or your particular use. So the one for sure is the broadcast message to participants. This works really well. Like if you're doing the speed networking and you want to remind people maybe what the icebreaker question is, or you want to, maybe you have them in the room for 10 minutes or longer or something like that, then you can set a timer for yourself, send a message to them to switch, that it's time for, they start with one person talking and then the next person, at your switch point, the next person starts talking. So broadcast messages are usually pretty helpful. I don't necessarily, this third one, I don't necessarily care to see if participants are sharing screens or doing reactions. There's not enough people in the room to really worry about that. So I'm not concerned about that one. And I don't typically have, I don't want to assign the participants the breakout rooms when we're scheduling. However, if I'm doing maybe a teleseminar or something like that, that's about the time that something like that would be an important piece of the puzzle. So definitely want to make sure that you have these pieces in place for the Zoom account before you go through the process of actually logging into Zoom meeting and setting this up. So this would be your first step. Okay, now that your Zoom account settings are set up so that you can host with breakout rooms, now you're in an actual Zoom room meeting. So this is my Zoom. You can see I've got my menu down here at the bottom, and breakout rooms is right here. So what you would do to get a breakout room started is you click on this button. Now you can have upwards of 50 breakout rooms. That's as many as they have at the moment. I don't know if they're going to upgrade that or if you have to upgrade your account for more, but we are at 50 at the moment. So you would actually choose how many rooms you would want to have. So if you have a 15-person meeting, then you'd probably want 7 rooms. And that one extra person is probably you. So if you have an even amount of people total, then you want to make sure that you account for you as a person, and then you don't want to have someone in a room sitting by themselves for the next 5 minutes. So you can join the room, or you can have you can move that person into one of the other rooms, whatever you decide to do and how you decide to host your meeting. You can have Zoom assign the participants, assign the rooms automatically, which I think works fantastically. You can assign it manually so that you actually choose where people go, and you can let participants choose their own room. So for example, if you're doing a teleseminar or some sort of a webinar or some sort of a networking event where people want to talk about very particular subjects in one meeting and maybe go off and into breakout rooms for 10 minutes or so, talk about a particular subject and come back, then you can actually have the participants choose those rooms based on those topics. So that's where that piece would come in. So I'm gonna put this on 3 rooms just so that you can see what that would look like. And I'm going to create. So now you can actually see those rooms. And if I had more participants in this particular meeting, you would actually see that you have the individual people's names, the participants in the overall meeting assigned to particular rooms. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to hit options. Again, you can have this so that participants can choose their own room. The meetings that I'm hosting right now, I don't typically need to use that. You do want to make sure that you allow them to return to the main session at any time. If there's any issues, if there was a technological glitch and someone didn't show up, if they're sitting in a room by themselves, if they don't like each other, but you can allow them to return to that main session and come back into that main room without any issues. Automatically move all assigned participants into breakout rooms. This one is fantastic. If you don't check this and you say, okay, open all rooms, the participants will get a message to say join room. Well, not all people realize that they need to click the button that says join room, so they don't. So it's better to let the system automatically move them than have a human error and have them not join that room themselves. This is where you choose the time limit for the rooms. So for speed networking, 5 or 6 minutes works really well. And then this button here, the notify me when time is up. What'll happen is when that 6 minutes is up, me as the host or you as the host will receive a pop-up window from Zoom saying, hey, the time is up. Do you want to close the rooms? You need to make sure that you hit the close all rooms button, and then it will actually start the countdown timer if you have this selected. And the participants will then get that pop up that says, okay, this breakout room is about to end. You have 60 seconds to finish up your conversation. So that's what these particular settings are for. Okay, so you have sent people to their first batch of rooms. The 6 minutes has happened. They have had their 60 seconds to finish up, and they have come back into the room. Now, you had a couple of options while they were in these rooms. Instead of seeing these assign buttons, you would actually have seen all of the people in these rooms, and you would have had the option to join these rooms because it actually would have had a join button for you. You would also have seen who was actually in those specific rooms. So if you had someone, say you had a 14-person meeting and you were that 14th person, then you would have had one man out that wasn't in a room. So you could have joined that one person in that room and the two of you could have had your own breakout session. Now, when that time comes up for the 6 minutes is up and the 60 seconds hits, you will be moved back into the main room just like everybody else. And you as host, if you have a waiting room and you're still trying to allow participants in, if you have that waiting room, you still get notices that new people are coming into your meeting. The caveat to that is if you are in a breakout room and you have new people joining your meeting, they're sitting in that main room by themselves. So you may want to ask the other person to come back into that main room with you, and you all can have a conversation that way. Or instead of it, if it's the first breakout room, maybe you assign that one man out into one of the other rooms so that there's 3 people in one room and 2 in all of the others. So you just don't leave that one man out sitting in the room by themselves. If you have an even amount or an odd amount of people, and so you have all of your rooms are full with the 2 people and you're the odd man out, again, you can join a room or you can just kind of sit and hang out and you have 6 minutes to look at Instagram or open emails or whatever. It's however you want to run your meeting. Now, once that session is done, everybody comes back. You open up, so you're back, everybody's chatting in this main room. You open up the breakout room area again. What you want to do is you want to recreate those rooms. So it'll probably give you this. And if it doesn't, what you want to do is you want to pay attention to the names in like 2 or 3 of the rooms. And you want to hit recreate once, twice, maybe 3 times to make sure that those participants are being shuffled into other rooms. So it is technology and if you have a small group, there you may have duplicates. People may end up in the same room with the same people a time or two, but you can try to help manage that by kind of keeping an eye on, one or two of the rooms, recreating it, and then that will reshuffle where those people are assigned to rooms. The other thing that you can do is when you have a list of people in here, that you, instead of this assign right here, you can actually, their name will have an assign or a move, and you can move that person into specific rooms as well. So if people seem to be, you can, one of the things I've done is I've actually asked, who have you not talked to yet? And so then I will, as we get near the end of a meeting, I will actually physically assign people so that they're not getting too many duplications. So that's basically it. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I guess you could probably see my face. So please reach out to me if this wasn't very clear. Thank you so much, and I hope to talk again real soon.